say, then the only way to go is a franchise, unless you can't come up with that kind of money, or unless you have visions of creating your own franchise from your.
I've owned both. There's benefits, there's pros and cons to both. If you're in a business where you know the business well,
Right.
You're well versed in the model, you've worked with somebody else perhaps in that industry, you've got great knowledge about that particular market, you know what, it's probably better off being an independent.
Why?
Because you don't have to pay the royalties. If you can buy as well as you can, and you can do all the things independently that you would get, you can do all of this stuff on your own. There's no reason to be a franchise. One of the, if you look. The next slide I'll show you. This may help answer your question. These are 10 years business success rates by the United States Chamber of Commerce. And it shows the yellow line at the bottom are independent businesses. It's a little hard to read, it's a little fuzzy. And the blue line is the franchise sector. And if you look at year one, these are all businesses that are still in business. So year one, 40% of new businesses fail. So year one, you got 62% of new businesses are still in business. Franchise is 97%. Year two, 94%, 43%. You can see one curve holding fairly steady, and in year 10, existing businesses have about a 15% retention rate 10 years down the road. So if I started the business today, the chances of me being successful and still in business 10 years from now is down to 15%. On the franchise side, it stays up in the 90s. And why is that? Because they support you. If you're having a problem, they will put their team on an airplane and come out and fix it. We do not want any non-performing locations. We do not want any bad press in an area. They want to make sure that everybody's happy. They will go to great lengths to ensure the success of that, because what? If your business goes in half or starts to struggle and you drop from $100,000 a month to $50,000 a month and you're paying 6% royalties, you're taking money out of their pocket. They'll be on that airplane so fast your head will spin. We want to fix this now. So, and they have systems. They know what you're doing in your store on a regular basis. So if they see margins slipping, labor costs going up, you know what? They have teams that go, oh, we have a problem in Utah. Okay?
So then, with that said, there are a lot of people that a franchise just ain't gonna accept. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, Charlie, we don't think you're making it. Sorry, we don't want you with that franchise.
Usually what happens, it's usually financial. People misrepresent what they have.
Right.
And when they actually get into the application process and they ask for verification of funds and they're, well, it's in a mattress, or I'm waiting for grandma to die. As soon as I sell my house, that happens frequently. Other times it's just people when you go to a discovery day with a franchise, and I'll show you the steps in the process, you go to their headquarters. They will require it. People talk about buying franchises. You don't buy anything. Franchisors award territories. And when they award a territory, they're interviewing you all through the process. And you'll talk to, you think you're gathering information, they're interviewing you through the whole process. So by the time you get to the last stages, you're on an airplane going to their headquarters, whether it's in Birmingham, Alabama, or California, New York, New Jersey, whatever it is. And you usually spend a day to 2 days in their corporate headquarters. And they put you through meetings, you meet all the people on the staff, you meet the marketing people, you meet the president of the company. They usually have a little cocktail reception that night. That's not because they want everybody to have a drink or two, they want to see how you perform. People do stupid stuff. And next thing you know, they're, I'll show you how to run the damn company. And wow. I get the call the next day going, Billy, really glad I didn't make the cut. So it happens. So they're interviewing you through the whole process. So it's as much as you're doing it for them, there's this whole huggy dance that happens the whole way. So and it's fun. I try to tell people this is what's happening. So behave yourself. So some of this is outdated, and I'm gonna update this. Franchise businesses account for 3% of gross domestic product. It's actually up another $38 billion in 2014. So we're about $498 billion worth of businesses that have been franchised. The number of direct jobs in 2014 actually was 192,000 jobs were created in the franchise sector. United States Chamber of Commerce found that 86% of franchises opened within the last 5 years are still under the same ownership, and 97% of them are still open for business. That's a pretty powerful statement. I don't think you could say the same metrics exist for communities. I'm not championing one versus the other. I'm just giving you just the facts check. Franchise businesses. Minority ownership is growing exponentially. The trend is still continuing. Very few closure rates. 1 out of 12 businesses are franchise businesses. We don't see that here as much in Central Florida as we do in other larger areas like Atlanta, New York, and more densely populated areas. I live in New Smyrna Beach, and I think there's probably 3 franchises in the whole city. Why that is largely because the demographics don't support most franchise